Hello. Now, so family, and welcome back to another Madden 24 video. In this one, you read it by the title, we're going to be showcasing the best free 96 overall Genki Force player to pick in Madden. Now, without further ado, let's get it snap, crackle, and pop in by talking about the best player you guys want to pick. As you can see right here, I'm assuming every single person watching this video has the 96 overall BND Genki Force Champion Pack. Now, if number one, you don't know what I'm talking about, or number two, you don't have this pack quite yet, we're not going to be focusing on that in today's video. I made a video yesterday talking about exactly what you need to do to get the pack rather easily. Check that out. It's on the channel and I'll leave it linked in the description. But without further ado, let's open this pack up. It's costing us 700 stars and let's talk about the best option to pick because boys, there's some very good players. Now, if you guys remember in the first release, we kind of got some like generic, well, not generic, but we just got some regular 96 overall players, DK Metcalf, Kevin Byard, Tremaine Edmonds, Rob Havenstein, Derek Carr, and then we got release number 2. Release number 2 was where there'd be like a big and a little player. Well, actually not a big and a little player, but like one card on each side of the field. So Jair Alexander at corner, as well as a Jair Alexander at wide receiver. Then we had a Derek Carr middle linebacker, as well as a Derek Carr quarterback, Aiden Hutchinson at right end, as well as at tight end, and then Devontae at CB and wide receiver. Now that's definitely given us a lot of options to choose from, but before we talk about which option you guys want to pick, as well as my top 5 rankings on the screen right here is a $10 PlayStation gift card. Be sure to put in those digits if you want 10 bucks for free. And also quick shout out to the partner of this channel, Underdog Fantasy. If you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, they're called the dog. That's what we call them. Well, actually, no one calls them that except for me. But Underdog is a place where you can make higher or lower player picks on NBA games. With NBA season still chugging along, my Pelicans still cooking up as they should be. There's no better time to check it out. I will leave Underdog linked in the description. On the screen, I've been showing you guys kind of what some of the picks look like. And if you sign up today using my promo code SWIFT, SWIFT, you get Jason Tatum's line set to 0.5 points. If he scores at least 1 bucket, you're winning, which obviously he's going to do. It's linked in the description. Use code SWIFT. All right, getting back on track, let me showcase my top 6 rankings for these players, starting it off with 96 overall Derek Carr. Now, I'm not going to lie, for I would say 95% of people watching this video, maybe even 98% of people watching this video, Derek Carr is not the move. He's got 89 speed, 96 throw power. If you want to get all the good quarterback abilities in this game, which are set feet lead, hot route master, and gunslinger, that's going to cost you 8 AP. Not really the best. There's quarterbacks that can get that for less, but if you are newer to Madden and maybe you're like an 85 overall team, maybe you're an 86 overall team, you just got the game recently, that's when I'd consider Derek Carr, because if you guys didn't know, quarterback is the most important position on your field, and if you're just starting out with Madden, well then yeah, maybe you should consider Derek Carr, because like I said, you might not have a good quarterback on your team, and quarterback is the most important position on your field. Otherwise though, Carr probably isn't the move. Moving on to the number 5 spot right here, we got my man Aiden Hutchinson. Now, if you guys did not know, some of these cards are going to have built-in X factors. We'll talk about that in a second, because that's kind of what differentiates some cards from the other, but Aiden Hutchinson right here has 92 speed, 93 excel, 94 block shed, 96 finesse move. The card is really good, don't get me wrong, a great player. He gets nice abilities. His X factor isn't amazing though. It's kind of hard to activate. Some of the other X factors, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this video, are easier to activate, making them a little more overpowered. That's why Hutchinson doesn't get a higher spot on this list. If he got like unstoppable force and it was on all game, then yeah, I would consider the card. But in order to get unstoppable force, which if you guys didn't know, kind of allows him to beat tackles instantly, you have to get a sack with the card originally, which honestly doesn't happen that quickly. So Aiden Hutchinson, for that reason, he's number 5. Moving on to number 4, conveniently, we got Devontae Adams on my screen right now. I'm not going to talk about this card for all that long. It's cornerback Devontae Adams, but there's a better cornerback we're going to be showcasing later in this video. So Devontae Adams has 96 speed, 95 acceleration. He's got great man, great zone, great press. They're all 95 plus. He is 6'1". You're probably thinking, Swift, this card is amazing. There's not really any flaws, and you wouldn't be wrong if you thought that. Absolutely. This Devontae card is really good. The only reason why I don't have him higher on this list is because there's a better cornerback we're going to be showcasing, and realistically, if you have your pick of any card and you want a corner, it's better to take the card that's the better corner. That just makes more sense. All right, moving on to the number 3 spot. This is where we're going to start to have some fun. This is where I would say the majority of people are probably going to be picking between, and the first card I've got is Rob Havenstein. Now again, similar to Derek Carr, I think Rob Havenstein is kind of only for a certain number of players in this game. Not everyone should be picking Rob Havenstein. The reason why I'd recommend you pick him, as I keep on saying his name differently, the only reason why I'd really recommend you pick him is if you've got a really good team already, because if you're picking the right tackle and you want that as your BND player, you probably already have a nice team already. You might not need some of the other cards I'm going to showcase. Now, the stats on the card are amazing. 97 strength. He's got like 95 plus for a lot of stats when it comes to the run blocking. The pass blocking is nice as well. Pass blocks at 97. Pass block power and pass block finesse aren't amazing. He's 6'8", 330. Basically your perfect right tackle. The stats don't matter a whole ton. They're really, really good, of course, but the only reason why I'd recommend you pick this card is if you've got a top-end team in this game. If you're a 93 overall or lower, don't consider Raw. But if you're like a 95 overall and you're like, you know what, maybe the wide receiver that I'm going to showcase and maybe the corner I'm going to showcase don't really necessarily have a massive role on my team, or you think that you'd be upgrading them really quickly, that's when you pick the right tackle. All right, boys, now let's get into the top 2 for this video. This is a difficult decision, I am not going to lie. Who did I put at number 1? Who did I put at number 2? It's either DK Metcalf or it's Jair Alexander. Let me talk about who we have at the 2 spot. Now, at the number 2 spot, we have DK Metcalf's 96 overall player. Let's take a look at stats and then let's talk about X factors, because these 2 cards I'm going to show you have the most notable X factors in this game in terms of their built-in kind of cool Genki Force X factors. Now, DK Metcalf has 96 speed. He's got 97 jumping, 92 catch, 94 catch in traffic, spec catch, short route running, deep route running are 96 plus, medium is a 92. He is 6'3", and just DK Metcalf cards that I've used so far in this game have played well. So he absolutely passes the eye test. He plays really good. He's got good stats. He's 6'3", 235. The card is absolutely wicked good. And in terms of his X factor, the X factor he gets, well, there's 2 different options. Number 1 is Double Me Elevation 1. Now, I'm going to pop up a photo on the screen of basically what this X factor does, how you can get it, all that good stuff. But basically the way Double Me works in this game is if you throw it up to DK Metcalf and he is in single coverage, he will moss the corner. Now, the way you turn that X factor on is by going through and getting DK to catch 2 20+ yard passes. So realistically, is that hard to do? Not super hard. It's not super easy either, but it is going to be something you're going to have to work for if you want to get that activated. And then Double Me as well. How good is the Double Me X factor? It's good, don't get me wrong, but it is a little spotty. And if you're going against someone that has deep out zone KO, you're probably going to have more of a 50-50 situation. Sometimes you'll boss him, sometimes you get the touchdown, but sometimes you won't. Now, I will say, I'm not picking DK from this pack, but I am going to buy this card right now at 480,000 coins because I do recommend this card, and I want to put my money where my mouth is. I think these top 2 players are 2 awesome cards. If you're looking for more of a wide receiver on your team, or you're looking for more of that offensive skill player, DK Metcalf is someone to pick, also at a position of depth, which is awesome to see. Now, at the number 1 spot right here, you probably guessed it, we have Jair Alexander. The stats on this card are simply put ridiculous, brother. Simply put, they are ridiculous. 97 speed, 97 man, 95 zone, 96 XL, 95 agility, 98 jumping, 93 play rec. He's 5'10". That's really the only issue with this card. And boys, the ability that this player gets, which I absolutely love, is universal coverage, or sorry, the X factor. Now, universal coverage, if you guys did not know, is a specific X factor that you can put on this card, and I believe it's the Elevation 2 version. I'll pop up a photo on the screen right here of what that X factor does, but the way you turn this X factor on is easier than any other X factor you guys will see in the game. Literally just by playing, I believe, 3 snaps with this card. You'll see it on the screen, but I think by playing literally just 3 snaps with this card, if I remember correctly, the X factor will turn on after that. Now, how does he get deactivated? The only way he gets deactivated is if someone makes a catch in front of him or around him, kind of in his zone. But boys, the thing about universal coverage is it's basically like having deep out zone KO, deep in zone KO, mid zone KO, and flat zone KO all on at the same time. If someone gets a throw and they're in his zone, he's gonna knock it out every single time. So although the way that the X factor turns off is by going through and having someone make a catch, that should not happen often. You're gonna be getting knockouts basically every time with this Jair Alexander. And that's why I've got this card at the number 1 spot. I think because of that X factor, he becomes one of the better corners in this game. That's what I absolutely love about the player. The stats are amazing as well. Now, obviously, if you'd prefer a wide receiver on your team, hey, don't let me stop you. That's something to consider. And hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, be sure to scroll down and drop a like. That is the best way to support my channel. And if you're not yet subbed, boys, we make videos every single day showcasing how to get free coins, free players, and a bunch of other free content in Madden 24. If you don't want to miss out, hit that red subscribe button down below. And until next time, fellas, have a wonderful day. I'm out. Love y'all. Peace.